Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BrokeN Boys. It's episode 189, and I am Mike.
And I, Colin.
Yeah. And pardon any background noise that might be being picked up in the recording on my end. As soon as we started, the air turned on and my dryer is going, so it might sound like terrible right now. But
Same here.
Oh,
Same here. I have to keep my window open because our air conditioning is not working right now,
uh-oh.
and it's the last couple hot days of the year.
Of
so.
course. I mean, why would you want that to happen on the cold days?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Thankfully Discord does. I don't know. I need to look more into how Discord actually messes with their audio. Hi, Riley. My cat's like scratching on my chair. But Discord knows how to cancel those things out really well. But
Yeah, most of the time. But there have been a couple times while we recorded where a loud car will pass by when the window is open,
oh,
or they'll go through the garage and they just
I think
they're very huge dicks.
Yes, yeah, huge dicks. Yes. I think it's. I was more saying the white noise type of stuff. Air and I guess the wind. I don't know. I guess we haven't done a Discord episode outside. Maybe that's what we gotta do. But
One day.
one day
We'll get that.
It'll sound great on my end. I can tell you that. But anyways, how was your week? Besides the lack of air conditioning.
It's been okay. Air conditioning just went out a couple days ago, but it's been otherwise okay.
Okay.
Back to the same old, same old. No concerts this week, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But been working, been sitting around. I've been playing. I've been getting in the spooky mood. So my sibling bought the Silent Hill 2 remake, so I went on their account that's still logged into my PlayStation. I downloaded that to play for myself, and I've been playing. It's very good, very, very unsettling. I've played a couple horror games in the past year or so. I played the Dead Space remake. I played the
That's right.
Resident Evil 4 remake. And those are both great horror games. Dead Space was definitely scarier than Resi 4. But Silent Hill.
Sorry, I haven't heard the term Resi before. That's awesome. I love that Resi 4. All right. Anyways, Silent Hill is.
Silent Hill is like a much different beast. It's a lot more unsettling. The game is, from what I've played, 90% dark and incredibly hard to see in. So if you want to play in the daytime, you're kind of shit out of luck because it is incredibly hard to see. Especially for me. The windows.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. The windows reflected in my TV, so it's just hard to see.
Gotcha.
What were you saying?
I was sorry. I always hate the very slight delay on Discord. But I was just gonna say, does it have that darkness slider at the beginning of the game, where you adjust how dark it is?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So it's your fault.
I feel like if I would, yeah, if I were to turn it up, I feel like it would take away from the game.
That's fair.
A little bit. So playing at night makes it better though, makes it more scary. So I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah.
There was I fought Pyramid Head for what I assume is the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, and he was a big scary guy, but the monsters in that game are very unsettling and weird. There's there's one that's the most common enemy where it's just it has no arms but just vomits acid at you. And then there's Then there's one that's just a, a pair of legs sewn on top of another pair of legs.
Oh, I think I've seen
And
that one. Yeah.
that one I hate. That one sucks. But it's been very cool, very good. I know this is like a very renowned and like well loved video game. So
Yeah.
it was getting good reviews, even though like the company that did it doesn't have the best reputation.
Hmm.
And but you know, it's been good. Been enjoying that. Also been playing Arkham Knight still, and that's been good as well.
Hmm.
Um, I watched a couple things this week. I watched the Sydney Sweeney horror movie that came out this year
Hmm.
called Immaculate, which was good, but I wouldn't call it immaculate.
Hmm.
Very interesting premise where Sydney Sweeney is she's like a nun who travels to Italy to be in like the big Catholic area, big church
Yeah.
in Italy. And spoilers for Immaculate, which I'm sure you were really looking forward to watch.
Literally right after the pod. No, I'm kidding. Maybe even during if it gets boring. I don't know. Anyway.
Subway Surfers next
Yeah.
next to talk about on the
Sydney
pod.
Sweeney next to our podcast to keep viewer retention.
um, but they basically the premise of the movie is she immaculately conceives, and has she's like the new Mother Mary,
Hmm.
and it turns out that the one of the priests in the church used to be a a biology person or a geneticist, and they got hold of one of the nails from Jesus Christ's crucifixion
Okay.
and used his DNA and bone fragments that were left behind on the nail to create the next Jesus Christ.
Wow. Ambitious.
um, um, but there's like it's been like they've been trying for like 20 years, and there's this part where they go into a room that's just like filled with baby fetuses in jars
Mm.
that like were failed attempts, but it's like this is the first one that has taken and has done well, and it's just like it was pretty good. It was an interesting premise,
So you're saying
but I don't
Sydney Sweeney was Jesus?
know. Mother Mary.
Oh. Oh, okay,
she was
right, right. Okay, yeah.
she was giving birth to the next Jesus.
That okay. Sorry, yeah.
You're good. But like I said, what I wouldn't call it perfect or immaculate. It was good though.
Yeah.
And then we also since we watched it last week, we watched it Chapter 2,
Natural.
and yeah, it was. This is my second time watching it, I believe, and I forgot how hard they go on like the gay people in that movie.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
really do not like the gay people in
they
that
were they
movie.
were very era accurate to the 80s, I feel.
I mean, yeah, but even in the modern day sections where it was 2016, they were they straight up like did hate crimes at the beginning of the movie.
Really?
Um,
Well, that
yeah,
did that take place in the eight? Maybe not. I thought that was in the 80s.
no, yeah, no, that was the modern day era
Oh,
where they hate criming in Maine.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how like blue or red Maine is, but I don't feel like I don't know.
They're one of the
It
states
was
that
good, though.
splits, right? I think. Don't they split their vote?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So
Um,
they don't know either.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. But for it being 3 hours, it wasn't too bad. I liked a lot of what the older actors did. Bill Hader, of course, was the best one, but
Mhm.
um, it was good. I still find it funny that they just bullied Pennywise to death at the end, but
Yeah. I
it was
think
good.
I think something I'll never forget about that movie is that that part with Bill Hader where I don't even remember exactly what he says, but I can still like vividly remember the shot where like he gets he looks into the eyes of like Pennywise or something at the end there,
Uh,
and then just like completely turns into like the puppet and like the low like Vine Boom-ish noise that happens or something, but it sounds awesome. Vine
yeah.
Boom, but awesome. Um, I don't know. I love that shot. I love that part of that movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's like
Bill, no,
perfect.
nobody but Bill, nobody but Bill Hader could have done
Oh yeah, yeah.
that. And then I listened to a few things as well. I listened to "For Crying Out Loud" by Phineas.
Nice.
I listened to "No Title" as of February 13
Oh
February 2024. 28,340 Dead
yeah.
by Godspeed You Black Emperor,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked and chose what I listened to from the Brat remix album today.
Oh, nice.
But
Before you talk about those, I just want to say that I saw Fantano's review for the Godspeed last night, and it made me very interested in listening to that as well. But
yeah, that's the reason I listened to
yeah,
it as well. But um, yeah, I saw that. I knew you had said there was a new Godspeed album, and I've never listened to Godspeed, but I was like,
mm-hmm.
maybe I'll listen to it, maybe I won't. And then I saw the eerie Fantano thumbnail, and I was like, oh, what's this? And from the title, I was like, oh, feels like a Palestine thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that's what the Godspeed album was
Me neither. I actually like
about, and that made me very interested.
yeah.
Huh?
Sorry, I think
uh,
you slightly cut out there, so never mind. It's okay. You were interested. You were interested in what it was about.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I was interested in seeing the commentary or the whatever they did, because I've never listened to a Godspeed album. I know they're long and I know they're very artsy, but I've never checked them out. And I was very interested in hearing what they had to say about Palestine, Gaza, Israel. Um, and, they said a lot without saying anything
Yeah.
at all. And I thought that was a really, really interesting and eerie way of going about it. I think it's beautifully made. The instrumentals are fantastic and eerie. The I think the scariest one for me was Pale Spectator Takes Photographs,
Mm-hmm.
um, which was just like, ooh. I was listening to this album while I was playing Stardew before the pod, and
Beautiful matching tones there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I listened to the Knock the Loose album while playing Stardew, and then I listened to this one while playing Stardew.
Yeah. Versatile game.
It just fits so well.
Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. I need more listens, I think, but even without the context of knowing that it's about the genocide happening in Palestine, I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think you get the same amount of feeling and just the same amount of love out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you didn't know, but if you don't know what's going on, the genocide that is going on, I implore you to go read up on that
Yeah.
and make it known to yourself. But I wish I was as blissfully ignorant as you. Um, but yeah, very beautiful, very eerie, very good. Um, Up there for the year to me, honestly, really
Yeah.
good. And then I listened to, as I said, "For Crying Out Loud" by Phineas, which was about what I expected. When I got to it on Album of the Year, I saw that the reviews weren't as high as you made them out to be last week, and
Yeah.
I'm sure
They dropped a little.
shrunk. And I was like, oh no, but I listened to it, and say what you want about Phineas, but he's consistent. He makes very consistent sounding music. I liked a lot of like the more acoustic instrumentals and production on this album compared to like the production and stuff that he did for "Hit Me Hard and Soft" this year with Billy. But I liked it quite a bit. I know I wouldn't say quite a bit, but I liked it. I don't know how I would put it up against Optimus from a few years ago, but I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of cool lyrics and stuff. I like the way he writes about his family and Billy and Family Feud toward the end of the album. I think for crying out loud, the song is definitely the highlight across the entire album. But there were a couple songs that I enjoyed. Otherwise, Family Feud being one of them. I also liked 2001, and I think Lotus Eater was pretty good too. But it wasn't like mind blowing, but I didn't really expect it to be.
Yeah.
But it was good. I enjoyed it. And then the Brat remix album, the tracks I listened to, which was most of it. I listened to the Ariana Grande, Young Lean, 1975, Caroline Polachek, Lord, Japanese House, Julian Casablancas, and the Bon Iver tracks. And I thought they were all really well done. I think they added a lot to what they featured on. I think the 1975 one was like the most different out of everything. I don't remember how that sounded on the original, but
it was kind
the
of
way
like
the
sorry, it was kind of like an electronic keyboard and like auto-tuned vocals, pretty much. Like,
okay. Yeah, but the 1975 it basically just made it a slower 1970 song.
Yeah.
Which I'm not mad at. I like the 1975. I like their sound, so it was good. I enjoyed it. The Lord one I think was good. I liked how the lyrics talked about what Lord's been going through the past couple of years. How low she's been feeling about herself and everything. And the Julian Casablancas one was, stroke victims are eating. It's Julian Casablancas, and he sounds like he did on the Daft Punk song that he featured on, which I also really like.
Yeah.
I enjoy that song. I enjoy Mean Girls a lot as well. But yeah, I thought it was good from what I listened to. I'll probably go back and listen to the rest that I didn't listen to, but yeah, I think the one that I had least interest in looking into was the Addison Rae one. So
yeah,
but yeah, otherwise it's good. Good listens this week.
Yeah.
At work though, we finally got a new drink machine.
Oh, that's like a month in the making.
Yeah. Like literally, it took a fucking month for them to finally get a new drink machine in there. And it's a lot nicer than the one we had. It has a touch screen thing
Holy
to make
shit.
the drinks, and the
it's a oh god Coke Freestyle or whatever.
yeah, I wish it was a freestyle, but no, it's basically what it was before, but it's just like more reliable, and it was nice to use today after they put it in last night. But at work, otherwise, been fine. There was a lady that came in through the drive-through. She's a regular, and one of my coworkers has deemed her stinky car lady, but I've never smelled her. I don't know. I don't tend to sniff our guests, but but she came in she came through the drive-through while I was in the first window taking money and orders. And she literally had like a cloud of flies surrounding her in her car.
No.
Ooh. I was like, oh, oh no. But I sanitized my hand after that. It was I didn't smell it ill, but I was like, damn girl.
That's like comically, it sounds like an exaggeration of sorts. Like I didn't think that could happen.
You wouldn't think unless it was like a dead person.
Yeah.
I was one step away from seeing the green lines coming off of her, I think.
Right, yeah.
But otherwise, work's been work. It's been okay. Max took the rest of my shift today because she's going up to Indiana next week to spend time with her fam.
Nice.
So she's getting some money.
Mun.
But yeah, that's my week pretty much. How was your week, man?
Week was fine. I didn't really do much at all, and honestly, I don't feel great about that. But it's I did cut back on the Arkham City a little bit. Haven't been playing that as much. But something else took its place. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it was like Monday or something. I mean, you might. It's kind of there's a game called like Clicker Heroes. I don't know if you played it, but it's kind of like it's basically like a cookie clicker type thing. And I downloaded that just because it was free and I wanted to listen to some music on Monday.
Right.
And I just wanted something to have in the background while I listened to music. And it kind of, I don't know, something about it just, it has like this really evil gameplay loop in a way where like, there's not like a perfect time to stop it. And it's not good. And I caught myself in the like I don't know 2 or 3 days in. I was like, this is kind of bad. How? Because at first I was using it as an excuse, like oh I'll do it while I'm watching videos or something like that. And I'm like, I'm purposely watching more videos so I can keep playing it. And I'm like, that's not good. Can't do that,
Yeah.
Mike. So a little bit of my week was ways of doing that, which I'm not proud of. But click click. I don't know. Shout out Adam Sandler. And yeah. But during that time, there is like slight bit of downtime during it. And I was kind of working on some like piano stuff throughout the week a little bit. I mean, both with some of the Debussy stuff that I'm still playing with, and then also I posted a cover of Trees, piano cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, on Wednesday. Posted a piano cover of Trees on piano. I realized I'd never done that one, and I was kind of messing around with it. I don't know, last week into this week or so, and I really liked some of the things I was doing with an arrangement. I was like, you know what? Let's do a cover. Let's do a little throwback. I gave a little love to the concert in the description and everything, and how I was still writing that concert high and everything. But yeah, I would recommend checking that out. I like it. I like that cover. I've also turned into one of those channels now where I post something and basically all the comments are like, "Oh my god, I used to watch you." It's like, hell yeah, I love that. I do
watch a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. No, I do appreciate them checking it out. I just find it funny that that's where I am now, where it's like, oh, I used to watch your covers, and so it's awesome. I love it. But just genuine. Very people are very supportive when it comes to the click and stuff like that. So it's nice. They're all nice. But yeah, did that, and then I'm also working on another cover that I'm probably gonna record probably tomorrow. So it might even be up by the time this episode's out. But if it is, all I'm gonna say in teasing, I guess, is I think John's gonna like it.
Oh,
That's all I'll say on that, I guess. But what's that?
Clara?
Maybe. But but yeah, I've been working on some piano stuff like that, so not everything went to shit this week, I guess. But also in my conquest of finding content to watch while playing Clicker Heroes, I did kind of discover the Last Meals series on the Mythical Kitchen.
Oh, hell.
And I didn't realize how good those interviews are. Like I think I'd seen like because sometimes I watch some Smosh content every now and then. They're kind of like comforts that usually like the Smosh games or something like that, And I saw like Shane did one of those, Shane from Smosh. And I think I watched a little bit of that. But the one with I don't remember his last name, but Surge from System of a Down came out. And I didn't really know much about him or System of a Down, but I watched that just because I was like, oh wow, that's an interesting crossover for a Red Lake YouTube channel. And I really enjoyed that episode. And I was like, holy shit, this format's actually great. And Mythical Chef Josh is really, really great at asking these questions and like being, a great interviewer and friend to like the to the interviewee. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I really enjoyed that. And so I watched like a few others too, and I was like, this is honestly at the same level of Hot Ones, like for different reasons.
Yeah.
And like, but it's like genuinely like fantastic. I was like, oh my god, these are like,
Yeah.
how did I not know that these were to this level of quality?
They're fantastic. The Sean Evans episode
I
itself
saw
is
that one too. Yeah,
great.
yeah. He does his research, but the way he like is so personal with them too is just like really, really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I love Hot Ones too, is because it breaks down the celebrities into a more natural state because of hot chicken wings. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, shout out Last Beals. That it's a really great series. I'm
Maybe watch some of those if you have. Those are great.
Yeah, I'm still picking through them. I haven't watched everything, but I really like the Gate and Matarazzo one.
Uh,
The Josh Peck one was pretty fun.
yeah.
Just the two of them relating the entire time. Um, yeah, yeah, no, he does great. Like I've seen some of his stuff before in passing, like Mythical Chef Josh. Um, but usually I see him as like the funny man or whatever, and he still is, kind of funny during those interviews. But like I just didn't expect him to be like that on point with his interviewing skills and like relatability to the guests. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Um, but yeah, that's something that was happening this week too. And yeah, that's honestly, unfortunately, kind of about all that happened this week, I would say. I mean, today we got a new dryer installed in our basement because our other one stopped working pretty much. It wasn't drying, and that's kind of the one thing it
Damn.
needed to be doing. Um, and so we got that replaced. The guys were supposed to like call my dad um, before they came over, and they didn't do that. But thankfully, I was in preparation, awake around like 8:30ish, just kind of snoozing my alarm, and until I heard a knock in the doorbell, and threw some pants on real quick, and then I was like, oh, yep, there you are, hello. Um, but it was pretty. It went fine. I think I've talked about this before, but I get self conscious about how bad I am at like accents, and I'm not.
Okay.
So,
Segue.
yes, I mean, yeah, I don't know. They were from. It looked like a father and son, I think, and they were extremely nice. They were extremely nice. Don't get me wrong. But like, I want to say they were from like, I don't know, Eastern Europe somewhere. So I like wasn't even like familiar with like the accent or anything. Um, so it was just. I don't know. I always feel so bad about that. I get like I don't know. I try my best, and it got replaced and the dryer is working, so it all went well. But it just some waking up kind of at 8 a.m., which is not great for me,
Right.
and coming out of a sleep and being greeted with very, very, very thick accent. I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. But it's okay. Like I said, they were very friendly. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing against them for that. Maybe that was kind of a crazy segue. Sorry, my brain was just thinking. Um, but that's why the dryer
I
is
thought you were
working
gonna
now.
do. I thought you were gonna do an impression or something. I was like,
Oh no, 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 no.
oh,
They sounded like this. No, no, no. Jeez. But yeah. But that happened, and then around like 12ish or so, I started getting very eepy, so I took a nap, and that's why I took a sec getting on for the podcast because I was I was coming out of slumber. Um, Sleep
I mean,
part
you're gonna
two.
be awake till 5 a.m. Or
I sure hope not. I think I got a I think between sleep one and sleep two, as I like to call it, I think I got the 8 hours in there. So I'm gonna try to. I think I should be able to get to sleep at a good time tonight. Um, But yeah. Other than that, though, I listened to a couple albums, a few albums this week, I guess. First thing I listened to was an album I've been meaning to get to for a long time now, which is "Give Up" by the Postal Service. It's an album that I think I first heard of during, I want to say, Fantano's Trench review. I think he compares Trench to a few Postal Service songs. And I found that interesting. And then I kept seeing the album other places. And then I learned that the lead singer from Death Cab for Cutie is also the lead singer on this project. And, you know, kind of those things combined, I've been meaning to look into it. I knew it was very electronic. I knew Owl City. A lot of people compared, you know, Owl City to a watered down postal service. I've heard that before too, and I understand that now. This is like the only album that Postal Service released, I believe, and like it's like from 2003, and it sounds very modern in terms of maybe not modern, but like it sounds very 2015ish in terms of like electronic pop music. Um, and I know 21 Pilots are also very inspired by Death Cab, and I think Postal Service too. And I could definitely feel how Tyler got some influence from like melodies and some electronic elements and vocals and stuff on here. It's great. It has really cool stuff on it, and I could tell it's very influential to the scene. I wouldn't say I loved it as much as I wanted to, but it's kind of one of those things where I can recognize how influential it has become over time. But it's still really good. I just was expecting to like love it. So maybe that's my fault. But yeah, yeah, it's good. There's even a track on here. I want to say it was. Hold on, I want to see if I can find it real quick. But when I was listening to this track, I like all of a sudden got like a That's So Raven flashback to like No Fun Intended.
Okay.
This the song's called Sleeping In, and I was listening to this song and I was like, oh my god. All of a sudden, everything Tyler was trying to do on No Fun Intended makes complete sense. like, like, it sounded like No Fun Intended, but like, you know,
Good.
yeah. No fun intended, but good. And I was just like, holy shit, I totally see the comparisons now. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, it's a good album, and a lot of great songs on there too. Some very good highlights. I could definitely say that. But yeah, that's cool. Give Up by the Postal Service. Next thing I listened to was I listened to the Lizzie McAlpine Deluxe album,
Oh,
which I'm only mentioning because there was one song that was very, very good. It's one that uh, she was kind of teasing on TikTok, and I know you said you saw some stuff on TikTok about um, the album coming out, and like you might have heard the lyric or whatever in it. Um, but it's kind of like a very provocative opening where she just says like, "I'm in bed, laying down, naked. You're inside of me," or something like
oh.
that. And so it's a very provocative opening. But I had heard that too, and I was like, kind of feels a little, um, I don't know. It felt a little provocative for the sake of being provocative, just from the snippet.
Uh,
But then I listened to the actual song, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually fantastic!" And it's called "Pushing It Down and Praying," that song, and I actually think it's better than all the songs on the actual album. I really like the album, but that track is like actually stunning, and I think one of her best songs just in general. Very personal writing and very great production and great vocal performance from what I remember. But yeah, just wanted to shout that out. And then I also listened to the Charlie XCX last night. Brat, and it's completely different, but also still Brat. And I'm a little bit more mixed on it. I think there's really, really great highlights. For instance, like the Lord song that you talked about. I mean, I've loved that version of the song since that dropped as a single like a month or two ago. Um, but you know, I don't know. I was kind of I liked some of the remixes, and some of them I was like, this doesn't really add anything, and it's kind of awkward a little bit. But some of them are really great. Like the Caroline Polachek one, I really like too. Um, when you do your full listen through or whatever, if you're gonna pick tracks again or whatever, 365 with Shy Girl was like really good. I would highly recommend that. That was one of my favorites on there. Um, and then you have a 90 or something else, didn't I? I don't know. But I liked the Troye Sivan one a little bit too. I liked that the Talk with Troye Sivan. I liked and So I with A.G. Cook because I liked the I don't know. I think they're both really close to Sophie, and that's kind of who that song is about. It's about Sophie and her passing. And I don't know. I think it was really good. I don't remember it too much. I only listened to it once as well, but that's just what I remember. I recalled enjoying. Um, but sorry, my brain's like slightly all over the place today. I don't know why. But yeah, yeah, it was good. But I was mixed on it a bit. But you know, there's some really good highlights on there, and overall, it's just like yeah, it is Brad. It is still Brad. Um, but yeah, cool. That's pretty much it for my week. um, yeah. But that's also why the dryer is running in the background still. If you hear that, it's because it's being used to dry. Um, it's kind of cool though. It's I haven't really looked too much at it, but it looks very modern, and it's kind of nice to have something like that around. Um, yeah. Anyways, um, in music news, I might be missing something potentially, but I only have one thing, and that's that a new Half Alive track came out yesterday. Did you listen to it? It's called Automatic.
I did. I did.
What'd you think? What'd you think?
On first listen, I was scrolling through YouTube last night around 11, and I saw that the music video came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't super crazy about it, but I listened to it one more time before getting on the pod, and it grew on me pretty substantially, I'd say, on second listen. I enjoyed the vibes. It definitely felt more like something off of Conditions of a Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Which I wasn't like upset about. I liked the couple tracks that actually went into that more like distorted esque, like more punky sounding
Yeah.
style, and this one felt like that, and it wasn't too bad. I liked the lyrics, and I don't know. I haven't listened to Sophie's House since it came out, but I think I like this one a little more, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had a pretty similar experience to be honest. I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, this is good. I didn't like love it, um, but the more times I've listened, I mean, I say the more times, I think I listened to it like 3 times back to back, pretty much. But each time I was like appreciating it a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay, actually, this is pretty good. I do like it. Yeah, like you were saying, it has a little bit of the noisier elements of Conditions of a Punk. Um, and I do like that. I do like how they're implemented. The little guitar solo that happens briefly, I think, is built up to really well. And I like the instrumental in general, to be honest. And I think Josh, in his like the chorus was like growing on me a little bit, like with each listen. But yeah, no, I do enjoy it. And I also listened to Sophie's House again last night, and I was like, yeah, this is still good. It's just it I don't know. I do enjoy the lead singles. I wouldn't say like I'm like super stoked for the album coming out in like 30 days ish. But I'm hoping I like it as a whole a little bit better than Conditions
Yeah,
of a Punk. So yeah.
me too. Me too. I'm not expecting anything to like super blow my mind, but I wouldn't be mad at something popping out
I,
at me like that.
I wouldn't mind my
Uh,
mind being blown. Yeah,
just a little bit, maybe.
yeah, a little,
Well,
little bit of bloating. Yeah,
yeah. But I like the singles. I'm interested in what the album's gonna be. I like Sonny and Cher. I think are the two puppet guys' names. So,
Oh, okay.
you know, I think I like their little aesthetic that they add.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we mentioned it when Sophie's House came out, but I do still like that album art. I think it fits in line with their artsy avant-garde-ish album covers.
yeah,
I think it fits well. But I forgot I also listened yesterday through all of Conditions of a Punk again, just because I was like, I haven't
uh,
actually given this a fair shake in a while. Um, and I felt pretty much the same about it. But I will say, Nobody grew on me a little bit more.
yeah.
I know that was always one that was like, I don't get why people like this one so much on my end. I was like, I know people like it, but I'm like, it's kind of, I don't know. But I don't know, something, I just kind of got into it a little bit more last night for some reason. But
I love that track, honestly.
yeah,
Since it came out, I've loved that track. But
yeah. A true pioneer over here. No. But yeah, I still left the album feeling pretty much the same though, where it's like it's not bad, but it's extremely overbloated and kind of mediocre-ish, and I wish it was more adventurous. And Automatic, it is more adventurous, and I do like that about it. So, so yeah.
Other music news. I'm going to start this off with "It Should Have Been Me." It should have been me.
Okay.
Should have been me. 21 Pilots at their hometown Columbus
Oh,
shows announced that they were doing a live album for the Clancy World Tour. They had 40 microphones placed around the audience to pick that sound up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, throughout the 3 nights they recorded for the live shows for the live album to pick and choose what sounds the best, I assume.
Yeah.
And they played Oldie Station, or not Oldie Station. They played Slow Town, and Oldie Station,
And Hometown.
and Hometown.
Yeah.
And then also Tyler, he got into the pit for Routines in the Night.
Oh,
And
I
just
saw
walked
that.
around,
Yeah.
pushing through the crowd, recording a Routines in the Night music video. Another one, which is cool.
Wait. Hold that thought.
Another one.
Okay. So, sorry, I forgot that sometimes you don't hear the sound. I played the DJ Khaled "Another One" soundbite.
Another
Yes.
But yeah, so that's cool. That's gonna be really cool. Should have been me.
Yes.
Should have been me.
It's kind of fucked up that it do that to their not their next door neighbor, but the neighbor across from that in Illinois. So yeah.
Yeah. Seriously. The hometown shows always get the lucky bits where they get special things, but it was just
Yeah.
should have been me. I'm not angry. Should have been me though. And I think that the U.S. leg is ending tonight.
Oh yeah.
I believe. So
that's crazy that they've gone across the U.S. already.
Yeah, and, they're starting in Europe in November, I think. But that's cool. They also submitted themselves for a few Grammys for Clancy. I think I liked a tweet with their different categories that they submitted themselves with, so I'll name those off here. They put up Overcompensate for consideration for Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Rock Performance, Rock Song, and Music Video. The album Clancy itself for Album of the Year and Rock Album of the Year, and the Craving single version for Pop Duo / Performance.
Yep.
So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm surprised.
I know they don't. Really,
oh, sorry. No, you can do.
I know they don't really care about awards and stuff like that, and like that kind of recognition, but would love to see them win something.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they did. I mean, with all the music videos they did, overcompensate's cool, but like I feel like some of their other music videos could have been a little better for music video of the year.
Yeah, honestly, they maybe like the one that they sunk the most money into with Paladin Straight, but
Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah. I wonder if that came out in time. Maybe it did.
uh,
I don't know when that time deadline is. But yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, we're a bunch of lavish lovers over here, but you know, that music video is fantastic. Um,
it is.
and even something like Next Semester, I think, could have been really cool for a music
Uh,
video. But if those do go through, because right now they're just for consideration, I think they do have a good chance at rock album.
yeah,
That would be cool to see. Um,
I think they do. But it'll be cool. Very excited to see if they get put up for the music video one. I really hope to God that they don't lose to Fortnite.
there's a Fortnite music video.
Yeah, no, the Taylor Swift music video.
Oh my God! Yes, of course.
Fortnite with Post Malone.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift.
how could I
Dead Poets,
confuse?
the Torture Post Department, the Dead Poet Society.
Yeah,
I
Torture
always do
Poets.
that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Torture Poets Club. Yeah.
Yes, that one. But that music video is very overrated and boring, and
I don't even think I've
overcompensate
seen
isn't.
it. Yeah,
I've seen clips of it, and even I don't need to see all of it to know that
yeah.
it's overrated. Because that album is overrated. But
Is it?
I don't know.
I
It won all of the VMAs.
Oh,
So
in terms of critical acclaim, yes, I would agree with that. In terms of like audience reaction, I feel like it's actually like slightly overhated. I would say just very slightly, me personally, but you know,
um, but otherwise, music wise, KSI released the worst song known to man.
Mhm.
It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It is really really bad, but it's not like the worst song.
Yeah,
Uh, and he got clowned on real hard, and it was really cool to see.
absolutely.
The whole LuNchly crew this week has been getting absolutely demolished, and I love to see it.
Yeah. Did Mr. Beast do anything this week?
Well, he rented out a theater to eat LuNchly, watch Talk Tua, and the KSI music video.
Wow,
Um,
that's
so
something.
yeah, the fall off of Mr. Beast is something to be hold. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I may.
He's not getting any. Go ahead.
No, you continue. You continue.
He's not getting any less YouTube views or anything, but just the cultural fall off of Mr. Beast is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I was gonna mention that when we did our YouTubers bracket, like I don't know, I want to say that was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that. I made the joke of, so who do you think's gonna get canceled here first, or whatever. Um, and already so much of that has like kind of gone to shit a bit, at least in terms of Cody Ko being on there, and us singing the praises of Cody Ko. And then also me in particular, I remember being like, you know what, Mr. Beast, I'd fuck with him. You know, he's great. I think he makes great content, and I still kind of agree with that. It's just there's been some more shady details about his whole business as of late, and choosing to associate with Logan Paul especially is definitely something to do at this point in your career. But yeah,
I saw that somebody tweeted a month or so ago. Like you can really tell a lot about Mr. Beast's character by the fact that he keeps getting closer to KSI and Logan Paul.
yeah,
And it's like, man, you used to. I mean, I'm sure you still do plenty of good stuff
yeah,
for the content and stuff like that. I haven't watched a Mr. Beast video in a good while, just because of all like the Chris Tyson stuff that
yeah,
happened, or the Ava Chris Tyson, whatever.
yeah,
They're a bad person. I don't really care. But and just I don't know, but it was just like I don't know. He somebody also tweeted that Mr. Beast now is like the same kind of cringe that Elon Musk is, and
I'm not
I
sure if
can
he's.
kind of start
You're agreeing with that?
with the fact that he rented out a theater to watch Talk to a.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. That feels like something that Elon Musk would do. So
Yeah,
just
I guess there is a little bit of that. I remember seeing like recently, someone on Reddit was talking about some sort of post that uh, came out like 8 years ago or something like that, and someone else replied with like, "You can tell this is an old Reddit post because the redditors are still dick sucking Elon Musk." It's like, yeah, I now that you say that, like, I mean, I guess there are some signs showing. There are. Um, I hope it doesn't happen. Because even like I don't know if I was thinking about this the other day. Um, Jay Schlatt, he has a little second channel called the Weekly Slap where he like kind of he drops his whole like persona of this obnoxious New Yorker saying edgy jokes and shit, and he like is actually giving like genuine advice to people, and it's one of the few places you can actually see an authentic Schlatt, and I think the most recent video on there was after the Mr. Beast YouTuber video, and he had Mr. Beast on that channel, and they just like talked about financial stuff and YouTube and the passion of YouTube. And Jimmy, like, I really love that video because it kind of was the first time in a while you got to see Jimmy be himself too, and just be,
yeah.
not this big corporate, I don't know, kids influencer. I don't know what to call him. But you know what I mean. The obnoxious YouTube 2024 edition, Mr. Beast. And just I don't know. I remember gaining new respect for him through that video, and then now there's been so much that's happened. It's just like, oh my god, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very disappointing.
It is. Yeah,
But
that's a good way to put it.
it's just like when TMG had him on last couple years ago,
Yeah,
a year ago, the whole evil Mr. Beast bit. I don't know. It just it turned into reality, and
yeah,
it's kind of unfortunate. But
yeah.
yeah,
I feel like there's still redemption for him.
there could be,
But it is looking a little slippery as of late. Yeah.
Right now, we're getting closer to Logan Paul. Not the move, Jim.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's crazy though, because like I feel like even like KSI has had his moments too, of course, but like usually he's not like this clowned on either. Like I don't think like people usually enjoy his content. He was a little obnoxious for me, but like um there are people who genuinely enjoy like the side men and things that KSI puts out. Maybe not musically, but like content creation wise or whatever. I know I've seen clips of him speaking very positively. I'm not sure. Do you know that like Quaduca and KSI had like a beef at one point?
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, they literally Quaduca. What a lot of people know him for was having YouTube beef with KSI. Like they made diss tracks on each other,
Huh.
and you know that's why a lot of people didn't take Quaduca seriously for a long time, is because he was known as the guy who dissed KSI. But like, anyways, I've seen clips of JJ recently, being like super supportive and like super like singing praises of how Quad has evolved since I didn't mean to haunt you, and even I think Scrapyard era stuff. But but anyways, I'm just saying that to be like I feel like I hadn't seen people be like this much on KSI, but then again, like KSI has just been making an ass out of himself recently.
Yeah.
So like absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, out of the two prime guys, KSI has definitely been the one that's like the most. He's not as in the limelight for negativity.
Yeah.
But ever since that Dan TDM moment, it was like, ooh, buddy,
Yeah.
you kind of fucked up. kind of fucked up. And he just won't let that go. And then he releases in the middle of this whole one-sided beef that he has with Dan the Diamond Minecart, he releases this song that's ass and gets clowned hard, and the entire time he's getting clowned, he's like, why can't everybody just leave me alone? What?
Yeah,
Why
pretty good
everybody
KSI
hate
impression.
me? Thank you. Cheerio. But he's like, it's just like, dude, this song sucks. The music video is corny as fuck. You got a Prime ad in the middle of it.
Oh Jesus, I haven't looked into it.
Oh yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's not good.
Yeah.
And he's getting clowned on and hated on, and he's like, I put so much love into my music, and can't everybody just hop off? I want people to enjoy my music, and it's like, make something better than that. But it's like, it's just really funny. And then Logan Paul on the other side has been beefing with none other than Tommy Innit.
Oh, awesome!
For the past
I saw a little
weeks.
bit of this. I didn't know this was like an actual beef though.
Yeah. So one of the, I think on the Donald Trump episode of Logan Paul's podcast,
Awesome.
He had a little segment in his video. You know how on the YouTube slider, if you look at it, some videos have like the segmented portions of the video.
Yeah, like the chapters. Yeah.
One of them was like the Gaza conflict, and in the middle of the Gaza conflict segment of that video, he put an ad for Prime in. And
wow. Oh my God.
And Tommy tweeted that and went, all right, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then Logan got upset with that and started posting receipts of messages between the two of them where Tommy is like looking for advice and saying how just like praising Logan for a boxing match he had or for like videos that he put out that he liked.
Yeah.
And it was like these were a year or two old.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan's like, what happened to this? What happened to when you liked me?
What happened to when you were like 18?
Right. And it's like, and Tommy posted like, why are you posting me talking positively about you? Like, are you fucking stupid? Like,
Yeah.
especially with how old these are, it's not helping your case. And then Tubbo popped in at one point, and he was like, please use the LuNchly money to hire a PR rep, please.
Yeah.
Which was funny. And then Tommy posted a little skit where he made a he was ripping on LuNchly, and he made a product called the Vapely, which was a vape for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tommy once again stealing slap bits. I love it.
Which is very funny, and
yeah,
it's just funny to see all of these all the LuNchly crew getting owned and not winning their beefs at all.
Yeah,
but
I would. Yeah, I can still pretty comfortably say that I still dislike Logan Paul by a long mile of the three of them.
Oh yeah.
That's why when I said like Jimmy associating with Logan Paul specifically, that's why I put it that way earlier. Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. I only saw little bits and pieces of that, but like I remember someone saying something in a comment section about the Tommy and Logan Paul thing, being like, it's crazy we're living in a world where Tommy Innit is more of an adult than KSI, or not KSI, than Logan Paul. He's the adult in this conversation. It's true. Yeah.
Logan Paul and his wife just had a baby.
Yeah.
And I saw a tweet where somebody said, imagine the first week of your life your dad was busy beefing with Tommy Innit instead of changing your diapers.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really fucking funny.
Oh,
but
man.
yeah, just Logan Paul, shit person, awful person.
Yes.
I hate that motherfucker. But KSI, I think in middle school, I want to say, our a friend we used to have, his name was Zach. He liked KSI a lot.
Oh, really?
Back in the day.
That actually makes a lot of sense now that I think about it.
Yeah. Zach was very into FIFA
Yeah.
and the video games, and I would go over to his house and we'd play FIFA, and he got me watching KSI a little bit, and I was like, back in the day, those videos were like, that was like just before edgy YouTube.
Yeah.
But like still in an era where it was like, prank calls and stuff, like Max Mofo.
Oh yeah.
Back then doing prank calls, and I loved those videos, and KSI was kind of in the same vein, other than his like FIFA videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was just to see where he hasn't like gone too off the rails. I wouldn't say he's definitely not. He's definitely like the least controversial of the two.
Yeah.
And probably the three at this point, but just it's just him associating with Logan Paul is not great either, but they've also been associated for a long time, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just wanted to mention that I used to watch those Max Mofo prank calls a lot as well, but mainly because there was a lot of like RuneScape references in those that you probably you probably didn't pick up on. I don't even remember exactly how. I think in the subtitles he would have a lot of like RuneScape references or something, or something like that. I don't know. It's been a long time since I watched those, but I just had a flashback to that.
Yeah, no, that was like, I was probably way too young to be watching those videos.
Yeah.
A lot of Max Mofo content, to be honest. I was probably way too young to be watching.
Yeah, anything from that Filthy Frank crew or whatever. I mean, I didn't watch much of the Filthy Frank stuff, me personally, but from what I've heard from the people around me, it's like, wow, yeah, that we were definitely watching that at like 12.
Yeah. But I'd rather sit some poor kid down and have him watch those videos instead of like Leafy back in the day.
True.
Too.
And you were the Leafy stan. Yeah.
I was a Leafy fan back then. I liked the CS:GO surfing videos with him telling probably fake stories.
Yeah.
And
bullying.
I also calling a child with maybe Down syndrome, calling them the R slur, and then but that was also in an era where like Drama Alert. I watched a little bit of that as well along in that era.
Yeah.
So edgy YouTube, what a phase.
2015. Woo.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah. Oh God, sorry. I just had the thought that that's gonna be 10 years next year. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Anyways, any other music news?
I don't think so. That's all I got.
I don't have any like news.
There was a Trump rally where Elon Musk got on stage and talked.
Oh.
He jumped around like an idiot and then said that if you don't go and vote for Trump, that this is going to be the last election. That's his prediction.
Wow.
Which
the Democrats
is kind
are
of funny.
stealing our democratic process.
Yeah. And the guy next to him was like, I don't want any more elections. No more elections. This is going to be the last one you have to vote for. Wow. Kind of funny. But he also Trump had he was in the same place where he got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
In the crowd where the dude who died was sitting, he was a firefighter in Butler, in Pennsylvania, and they had his firefighter jacket and a helmet in the seat where he died or was shot, like it was a football jersey.
Oh.
And they had like a moment of silence where they played like the toll bell, like the death toll bell, and they also played Ave Maria. And Trump is incapable of talking about these matters in a serious way at all whatsoever.
Right.
He's like, "Ooh, we were getting blasted at. Ooh, some of us took shots. Some of us took it harder than others."
Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was just super, like, it did not feel like he was taking it seriously at all. The fact that one of his supporters was literally killed at a rally of his. He's surrounded by bulletproof glass when he speaks outside now. But he went to the same place where he was almost killed, and he just made fun of people. So um, don't vote for Donald Trump, please. I know we've said this a lot, but please don't.
Please don't. Yeah.
Register to vote if you haven't, if you can still, if deadlines haven't been passed, and get out there and vote blue, please.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. That's news for me, at least. So.
Yeah, I don't really have anything on here that I noticed. But cool. Well, honestly, we can just get into song of the week if we really want to.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you were up first this week for song of the week, so.
Well, as much as I want to pick a 12-minute song from that Godspeed album, I probably won't do that. Yeah. So, you know what? I like that Half Alive song enough to pick it, so I'm gonna go with Automatic by Half Alive.
Ooh.
All right, that was Automatic by Half Alive. What'd you think, Mike?
I still think that's a great song. One thing, I think I mentioned this when I was talking about it, but like I said, I listened to it 3 times back to back, so it's been, I guess, a sec since I've listened to it. About 24 hours ish. I really I do like Josh's vocal performance a lot on this one, though. Like, I think especially in the chorus, like, he's putting a lot of passion into his vocals that I feel like not that he was like completely passionless on Conditions of a Punk or something, but like I feel like it's an energy that we haven't heard since, like, Now Not Yet a little bit, and I like that. I like that performance from him. I think it's just, I think the energy as a whole is very strong on this track.
Yeah, I agree. I love the energy. I love the vocal performance, and the chorus is great. I don't know. I just think that's a solid Half Alive track.
Yeah.
I would love to hear more of that album sound like that. So we'll see in November what it's like. But what you got, Mike?
Well, one thing I have been listening to a lot this week still is the new Sound by Jordy Griep, which is a great album. I didn't get to choose. I forgot why I didn't choose anything last week, but I didn't choose anything last week. And I guess I will also avoid the 12-minute song on it, which is probably my favorite. But I will, if it's okay with you, there's like an 8-minute one that I also really, really love. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. It's a little on the longer side, but I think my second favorite track on here is towards the end, and it's called "As If Waltz" by Jordy Griep. All right, that was "As If Waltz" by Jordy Griep. What did you think of that, Colin?
I thought that was very interesting. Much like the first song you had from him a few weeks ago before the album dropped. Very cinematic, but this one felt more like Broadway, more musical esque, not like musical as in Broadway.
I get
you. And I like that about it. Around the 3-minute mark, it really started to pick up for me and get more interesting. I think this one, like, more like the guitars came in and everything. There was a lot of really cool guitar work throughout the entire song. After that point, but it was between this album and the Godspeed album that I was going to listen to before the pod today. But I chose Godspeed, and I still have to listen to this one. But with the 2 tracks that you've shown me, I'm very interested in hearing what the rest sounds like.
Yeah. It's okay. We could trade next week, maybe. And I'll probably listen to the Godspeed. Yeah. I mean, I really love a lot of the things about this track. I've been seeing some people say that this whole album tells a through story, and I'm not entirely sure. But either way, he throughout this whole album, he's kind of telling it through like the perspective of like an incel. And in this track is kind of like, you know, that incelish character learning, like falling in love with a sex worker, and like genuinely falling in love with them. And I don't know, like something about the way he takes those characters and like humanizes them just to show them like, you know, that like it's not hopeless or whatever. I guess I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but like it's just like a very human thing, I would say. And like I was watching, have you ever seen Professor Sky before on YouTube?
I don't think so.
Okay, he talks like he's like this professor, but like he loves talking about like music, and he's kind of like in that Black Country to Road ish scene, at least in terms of like the content he talks about. But he talked like all about this album for like an hour and a half, and he had mentioned that like this it's important to discuss those type like these types of concepts with the people who will be listening to this music, because you know, people who listen to Black MIDI, I don't want to say they're incels, but like they're maybe more inclined to going down that that route, you know, and just like showing them the fault in their ways, and like the ways that he does on this album, I think is like really, I don't know, I think it's really smart, and like very, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I feel like I'm not putting it into words very well. But I don't know. Either way, the track itself, I really love this track. I really love how the sections blend together, and this is like probably the calmest moment on the album, I would say. It gets very serene and very beautiful, I would say, on this track. And yeah, I don't know. It creates this unique mix of emotions, this whole album for me. But yeah. Anyways, that's As If Waltz. Yeah. But cool. What well, we have a wheel to spin before we close out this episode. We do this little thing every week, or not every week, every 5 episodes, called Artist Analysis, where we take a deep dive into an artist's discography, and we listen to each of their albums and then talk about them, talk about how they grow, talk about the future of them, all those types of things. We've been doing this for a long time now. So much so that John Bellion has had an entire hiatus in between our first episode. I mean, I think he was already kind of there when we started it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, as you can see on screen right now, and if you can't, audio listeners, love you to death. We'll get to you in a second, but yeah, I think we can go ahead and spin this wheel, see what comes up.
Let's see
who we are listening to this week.
Oh,
ooh, topical.
Yeah. Linkin
Park. All right. So we will listen to discography of Linkin Park. I'm gonna do a little check on how much that is. I want to say like 5 or 6.
Oh, something.
Looks like 6. And then their album comes out. Is that the same day as Half Alive? It looks like it might be.
Yeah, it is.
All right. So yeah, 6 albums from Hybrid Theory to One More Light. That should be a good one though, because I've been meaning to check them out for various reasons. Just because, you know, they're hailed as a good band. But
yeah, very cool.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, audio listeners, as I was talking about, love you to death, as we always say. Yes. But you know, if you wanted to see that wheel, and if you wanted to see these beautiful pictures of man and man at a concert, you can you can come on over to YouTube. We're under the same name, BrokeN Bois, capital N BOIS, and you can see those visual components, as well as you can go into the description and get links to a whole bunch of stuff. One of them being that Song of the Week playlist. Those 2 things that we just did. And those 2 songs that we just did. Song of the Week playlists. Which were As If Waltz by Jordy Grief and Oh, sorry, I'm blanking. Automatic, Half Alive. Yes, sorry,
Yes.
complete blank there. Um, you can find both of those songs in our Song of the Week playlists. We got one for me, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of us combined, where you can listen to both of those songs as well as everything we have done for 189 episodes. We're like
Oh, yeah.
we're tiptoeing on that 200. Um, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. But yeah, go ahead and check that out. A lot of good stuff in there. Good for a little shuffle playthrough. And yeah, we also have links to personal stuff. For me, I make music. I am making music under the name Plaintive, stage name. And yeah, I have an album out called Coping Mechanism that you can check out, as well as some movie scores if you are so inclined. And yeah, go ahead and those Spotify, Apple Music links are down there. My brain is somewhat short circuiting. I'm sorry. Um, those Apple Music links are down there, and go give them some love. Let me know what you think about them. And yeah, more music to come soon-ish. And I have an album of the year page down there where I rate and review music. Um, I have my Instagram page down there. I have my YouTube where you can check out that trees cover I talked about, as well as the cover of something John will like soon. Um, and that's the best advertising I can give to that.
Uh,
And I don't remember if I mentioned TikTok, but that's down there too. And
uh,
yeah. In terms of relativity to you, my dear viewer, um, I am, um, man, I don't even know. I, what am I feeling like today? What am I feeling like?
I
Um,
don't know.
I
You
don't
in
know.
the, are you in the theater? Did you, by chance, end up in the theater watching Talk Tour with Jimmy Beast?
You know what? By chance, I did end up there. Complete chance. I just saw it. It was being advertised. And thank you for the alley oop or whatever there. That yeah, I saw a little like old theaters they have like on the outside they have the letters on the tops and now premiering Talk to with Jimmy Beast. That's what I saw. And yep, I went in there and had some LuNchly. And I'm behind our dear viewer, and Lucy Dacus is there too. It's kind of crazy. In in this theater, yeah, it's a little bit of a deja vu moment. But you know what? Who doesn't wa- who don't want deja vu with Talk to and um, and that's all I want to
Jesus.
say. As for Colin, Colin, he runs our social pages, our Twitter and our TikTok page. On Twitter, you can follow that and get updates for when videos are posted, as well as any other announcements about the channel. And on TikTok, he posts funny clips of us being silly and goofy, like we do sometimes on here. And there's some good bits on there. There's some good bits. Could make a bracket out of those, but there's some good bits for sure. And yeah, he also has some personal things too. He has an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music. He's got a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies. Can they find reviews of those couple things you watched this week?
Yep. You can go see my review for Immaculate up there, my rating for it and it Cheshire.
Absolutely, you can and you will do that, dear viewer. And he also has an Instagram review page. He does. And what is
Yep.
your relationship to our or relationship relativity? I mean, maybe relationship too. But what's your relativity to our dear viewer, Colin?
Well, I feel it only makes sense for with you being behind Mr. Beast, Lucy Dacus, and our viewer. in the in the theater, it only makes sense for me to be up on the big screen myself. I'm the guest on the episode of Talk to Us
Wow,
that
cheating on me.
this is being streamed into the theater. I look a little bit like this. I'm gonna set a picture into
Oh
the
wow.
thing.
Audio listeners
Yes,
love you to death, but this is gonna be some
wait,
visual.
it looks a
Okay, yeah.
little bit like this. Just
Uh-huh.
imagine my face on Joaquin Phoenix's body.
Yes.
And after I give Haley Welch what she fucking deserves, I'm gonna pop out of the screen, and everyone's gonna be cheering and clapping. A couple of people might be crying, Mr. Beast included in that. But yeah, I'm gonna pop out of the screen. Well, since it's being streamed of an episode that was recorded prior, I'm gonna come out as a surprise from like the exit next to the screen, and I'm gonna be waving, going, you're welcome," and as you and our viewer are both in the party that are cheering for what has just that has just happened on screen on a Talk to a podcast. You're gonna get up and you're gonna rush me before the cops do, and you're gonna hug me, and we're gonna be jumping up and down with the viewer in the middle, you behind them, and I'm gonna look at you, and before I get carted off to Arkham Asylum, I'm going to give you a big old smooch on the mouth, like, my Joker makeup.
Oh, I was about to say, for my own visual reference, there is the makeup on.
Of course, yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
And it's gonna leave you with a big old red smile on your face, and
Wanna know how I got this smile?
my co-host on the mouth. We failed to talk to a girl.
Yeah.
But this embrace is what we'd like to call the love cage. And if you would like your very own love cage, all you got to do to your viewer is drop your address in the comments below, and we will find you. You won't know when, you won't know where, but we'll find you, and we'll give you your very own love cage, just like you want.
Yeah.
So drop that addy and get your own today.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Beautiful. I just realized we never talked about Joker too. That was a thing that happened this week. But that's okay.
That's okay.
And no one batted an eye. Well, after that beautiful recreation, I think that gives our viewer something to think about until next week, where we review the album discography of Linkin Park. So, hell yeah. Okie dokie. See you then. Bye bye.